Hi, I'm Steve Gilbert, and this is a short introductory e-clip for a brief hybrid workshop about brief hybrid workshops. To give you a bit of background, brief hybrid workshops are one small but important way the TLT Group is trying to respond to a very big problem. I like to call that problem TMI, TMO, TLT. That is, too much information, too many options, and too little time. This problem is especially felt in higher education, where most faculty members and those who support those faculty members' efforts to improve teaching and learning don't have the time or the means to get the knowledge and skills that they need to do their jobs and to improve teaching and learning with technology. That applies especially painfully to the flood of new technology options now available to faculty and to students. So what are brief hybrid workshops? To answer that question, I'm first going to tell you a few things that brief hybrid workshops are not. And one of the most important things they're not is long. 15 to 20 minutes absolutely tops. Scheduling a brief hybrid workshop can be as easy as slipping it in at the beginning or end of a longer meeting or event or even a class session. Because you're watching this e-clip right now, this video, you might think that a brief hybrid workshop is simply another name for short instructional video. After all, using video, audio narrated PowerPoint slides, audio, or other forms of media can help to engage audiences. It can also be a quick and effective way of presenting ideas, but no matter how short or how great, an e-clip by itself is not a brief hybrid workshop. The reason for this has to do with another thing that a brief hybrid workshop is not. It's not something intended to be done alone. Whether it's a group coming together in a room or a group coming together online, brief hybrid workshops are designed to include people interacting with other people. So in summary, a brief hybrid workshop is brief, less than 20 minutes to run, less than a few hours to prepare. Hybrid includes a mixture of media and other resources. Workshop has a focused purpose and includes interaction for a group of people. Most often the media plans and other resources needed to run one of these brief hybrid workshops are organized and made available through a single home base, and that web page always includes these important elements: title, purpose, audience, leaders, acknowledgement of the sources, any usage restrictions or suggestions, activities for interaction, feedback options, and of course next steps. So now please join me in demonstrating a typical brief hybrid workshop interactivity built around these two questions. First, what are some teaching or learning situations for which a brief hybrid workshop might be especially useful? For example, an instructional bottleneck in one of your favorite courses or favorite faculty development workshops. A sticking point where a lot of people have trouble, and if they manage to get through it with your help or the help of a brief hybrid workshop, what comes later will be easier and more effective. Second, what are some teaching or learning situations for which a brief hybrid workshop might be especially unlikely to help much? For example, a lesson intended to enable undergraduate students to, quote, identify several ways in which the worldviews of Kierkegaard and Nietzsche are quite similar and several ways in which they differ, unquote.
For more information, including attribution for the images used in this e-clip, visit www.tltgroup.org/BHW about BHWs -homebase.htm. You'll also find details about the TLT Group's preferences and restrictions on the future use and adaptation of this material.